Welcome to Daytime Wattawa here on Rogers TV. I feel like singing that song to start off. You know, it's the most wonderful time of year. For many, it is because it means it's maple syrup season. And what kind of season do we have ahead? Well, we are joined by the owner of one of the best places to visit during Sugarbush season. I am joined by Earl Stanley, owner and visionary of Stanley's Old Maple Lane Farm. Earl, how's everything out at the farm today?
Well, it's a little cool and damp today, but we're looking forward to a great weekend coming up.
Nice. Earl, let's talk about this year's maple season. How is it looking so far as the weather is concerned?
Well, we've had actually a decent season. We're a little over half done, and the syrup quality's been great, and we've had lots of guests come out to enjoy it. So I'd have to say we're on a positive side this year.
Nice. Talk about the process, Earl. I mean, obviously, technology has come into every industry. Some people are still doing it old school. What's the process out there at your farm, and how do you process the syrup this time of year?
Well, I guess I'm the old school.
Okay.
We're still tapping the trees, piles, hanging the buckets on the trees, going around and collecting the sap, either with the tractor or with the horses, and boiling with wood down the evaporator that was, the sugar shack's 100 and some years old, so it's definitely the old school here.
Obviously, you mentioned how old it is. What is it like maintaining the sugar shack itself and maintaining the farm during this time of year, Earl?
Well, maintaining the sugar shack, it's pretty well maintenance free.
Right.
It's been here so long, we occasionally go back and add an extra board or two or fix a tin, but it looks after itself. The farm, well, some days it can be a little busier than others. We've got a lot of livestock as well as, depending on Mother Nature, whether I'm dealing with snow or ice or mud. These days lately, the first thing in the day is go out and feed the baby lambs.
Nice. Let's talk about what you've got planned for this year's Sugarbush season. When families visit you, what can they look forward to?
Well, this year we're doing a little differently. We're actually charging an admission fee, $8.50 in the parking lot, gets you into the farm, and then you get to wander around, go down to see Claude making maple syrup, go take a tractor ride with Glenn, go see all the farm animals. If you're lucky enough to be in the barn when we're feeding the lambs, somebody gets to feed the lambs and chase them around and play with them. We've got a few exhibits set up in the South Lawn facility, museum set up in the old stone house. Our store is always open with all the different treats that we've been making. And we've got our food truck this year, something different. We're making deep fried pancakes, grilled cheese, soup of the day, as well as maple baked beans. And I guess the crowd favorite's always the maple taffy on the snow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit about the impact that the pandemic has had on yourselves at the farm this year, or, over the last 2 years, I should say. Earl, what's it been like for you guys?
Well, it's really nice this year to be able to welcome back guests.
Yeah.
That'd be the biggest thing. We've rolled with the punches. Whenever the pandemic took place, we had to shut down for 2 years. So this year we're back and we're trying new ways of making sure the guests are comfortable, safe, and enjoying the experience. We weren't able to open up the Pancake House this year, but we're looking at it for next year. So that's where we've come up with the new ideas, the deep fried pancakes in the food truck. We opened up Malcolm's Trough, so it's a place to go and warm up and have a cocktail and get out of the cold.
Very nice. And you have your Easter egg hunts are back again this year. Tell us the details of the Easter egg hunts.
Well, the Easter egg hunts we've been doing since we started. It was an idea of my mother's. She wanted to have a spot where this is where the farm was owned by an old bachelor, John Loney,
okay.
And all kinds of things happened here. The enchanted forest where Santa Claus comes and the elves, but also this is where the Easter bunnies would play in the spring. And the Easter bunnies would be jumping around, drinking sap and playing, and they'd lose their eggs. So we invite the kids from the community and the city all to come out and help the Easter bunnies gather their eggs.
What a great time for the family in and around Easter. What about throughout the rest of the year? I know that you guys have events. What do you have planned for this summer?
Well, we're going to be back. The weddings will be coming back in full strength this summer. We're also looking at a few other special events. On the 12th of June, we're having a tractor jam. It's going to be a real orange crush in support of Skuse Repairs, a local agricultural firm in the East End that had struck by fire back at Christmas time. And we're going to help them raise some money. We're going to have a tractor pulling demonstration, a parade of antique tractors. We're doing it in conjunction with Vito, Vintage Ironworks, and we're going to have a bit of entertainment. We'll definitely have some food available, some cocktails, and some live music.
What about moving into fall? So after you sort of wrap up your summer events, I know the wedding season continues into the fall. What do you guys do during the fall?
Well, once we get into the fall, we'll do weddings up until darn near Christmas. And Christmas time becomes real festive because the elves come back. And because, again, the old farm was owned by a bachelor, there were no kids around, we have an elf outpost. And people are invited to go back and see the elves. They take a slagging ride back to the forest. It's a sleigh combination wagon pulled by a little Kubota tractor that we get from Top Line Tractor Sales. And they get to go see the elves, come back and see Santa Claus, and just enjoy the Christmas season.
Earl, you mentioned that you continue to do some health and safety protocols. What do they look like, just so that people, coming in are prepared?
Well, we designed the barn, or redesigned the barn, so it goes like a serpentine, so people actually go through the barn without going back through the traffic. We've got plexiglass on our wagons for the slagging rides, which everybody gets with their admission. When they do the Easter egg hunt, we're going to encourage everybody to wear a mask. And our staff have all decided just to continue to wear masks through the season to make sure everyone's safe.
Excellent. Earl, looking forward to this season. You guys have so many great things going on. Thanks so much for joining us here on the show today. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Anytime.
All right, take care. That's Earl Stanley, owner of Stanley's Old Maple Lane Farm. Reminder, by the way, the Sugarbush Easter egg hunts that's happening, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and they're located at 2452 York's Corners Road.